Hello, everyone, and welcome to Clay Loves Logic, where on this channel I solve logic-based Sudokus, other puzzles I find interesting. Today we're going to be looking at the puzzle Knights Caged Connections by Brainteaser Artisan. And as always, I'll put this link to this puzzle in the description so you can try it out on your own if you'd like. With that being said, let's get into the rules. Okay, normal Sudoku rules apply. You have to have the digits 1 to 9 in each box, in each row, and in each column. Cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. Now, we've seen knight's moves quite a bit in this puzzle now, or in this channel now, but I'll show you for anyone who's new here. So usually in Sudoku, you could not have a digit that repeats in a box, in a row, or in a column. But this puzzle also has an additional constraint, which is it also can't be a knight's move away. Now, in chess, a knight moves 3 up and 1 over. So this spot here would be a knight's move. This would be a knight's move. This would be a knight's move. This would be a knight's move. And so would those two, all by just the same movement. So it's definitely more restrictive. Okay, what else do we get? Digits in cages must sum to the clue in the corner and must not repeat. So this cage here needs to sum to 25, this 27, etc. Digits separated by an X sum to 10. Digits separated by a V sum to 5. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and digits separated by a black dot are in a 1 to 2 ratio. So these digits would have to be consecutive, 6 and 7, 7 and 8. Digits on a black dot have to be in a 1 to 2 ratio, so 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 4 and 8, 3 and 6, anything like that. Those are the rules, and there's no negative constraint on the X's, V's, or dots. So there could be other instances where these two digits could, for example, sum to, or they could be in a 1-2 ratio. They could sum to 5. They could sum to 10. There's no reason they couldn't. Okay, so let's start with penciling in our V's. All of these are 5 pairs. Now, I'm just going to quickly color them for now, and I explained this in the Florian Wortman puzzle, Colorado 10, I believe. 10 was the first one I did on the channel. But when you look at the Sudoku digits that sum to 5, you only have 2 options. You can have 4 and 1, or you can have 2 and 3. So this has to be either 4 and 1, this has to be either, this has to be either 4, 1, and 2, 3, or this is 4, 1, 2, 3. But they are all, in fact, distinct of each other. So I don't know what of the 4 this one is, but I can say it's pink, and I can say pink pairs with blue. I know that those are different and distinct from these digits, and these digits sum to 5 as well. So I can say that yellow and green are pairs that sum to 5, and I can say pink and blue are pairs that sum to 5. And I can actually do one better and say what these are too, because of the knight's move constraint. Usually you'd just be able to say that these are blue and pink, but we don't know the order. But with a knight's move constraint, this can't be blue, because that's exactly how a knight could move. This has to be pink, and this has to be blue. Interesting. Okay, so I suppose now we should look at, we should look at maybe, let's just see. I'm trying to see if there's anything that really stands out to me. 45 minus 38 is 7. That is interesting, actually. Let's look at that. So these digits here, we have a 28 and a 10 cage. So those 2 cages sum to 38. Now, we know the triangular number of 9 is 45. That's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. So these 9 digits can sum to at most, well, exactly 45. They can only sum to 45. And these 6 digits, these 6 digits sum to 38, which means these 3 digits have to sum to, they have to sum to 7, right? 45 minus 38 is 7. And in Sudoku, there's only one combination of digits that can sum to 7 when you have to use 3, and that's 1, 2, and 4. So this is, in fact, a 1, 2, 4 pair, and that's going to tell us now what this 10 cage is. Because when you think about what a 10 cage could be, how do you make 10 with 2 digits? 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, and you can't repeat 5s. So with 1, 2, and 4 all being spoken for, this is a 3, 7. And then 28, we already know just by maths that it's going to be 5, 6, 8, and 9. 8 and 9 is 17, 5 and 6 is 11. And that's going to tell us these two digits because this is a crop key dot. This has a 2-to-1 ratio. Well, on a 2-to-1 ratio, there's only one possible combination that could in fact work, right? And it just has to be 4 and 8 because 2 doesn't have a pair here, neither does 1. So in fact, we get a couple digits right off the start. 8 and 4. That's nice. These have lost their ability to be 4. These have lost their ability to be 8. This is no longer 4, which means this is no longer 1. That's all we know so far. Okay, these have to sum to 10. Now they're going to need a low digit because this can only be as high as 6, right? There's already 4 here. These three digits sum to 10, so we need 2 digits that sum to 6. And this couldn't be a 1 or a 2. So what's the highest this could be? The highest it could be is a 5, and it could only be a 5 if this is a 1. And then it could be a 3 if this was a 3. And that would be all the available options. I'm just going to think about that for a second. 1, 2 are spoken for. So we could have a 3. That's 6. And that's another 6. That's another 3. So that's 10. 5 and 4 is 9 plus 1. That works. Okay. That's possible. So let's look at this white dot because this white dot has to be consecutive. So if this is a 1, this has to be a 2. And if it's 3, it's either a 2 or a 4. Okay. Interesting. Why is it interesting, you ask? I don't know yet. Probably something to do with the knight's constraint, but I am unsure. So let me think about where to look next. How many digits is this? 1, 4, 5, 6, and 1 is small. Okay. Oh, and this can't be 3 because of the 3-7 pair, which means this can't be 2. Okay. Where do we go next? If this is a 1-2 pair, then if this is 1, this would have to be, well, that's interesting. Look at that. This is a 1-2 pair, right? So let's resolve some digits here. If this is a 1, let's just say that this was a 1, then this would have to be a 3 by Sudoku. Or sorry, by Knight's move. And then this would have to be 2, this would have to be 5, and then this would have to be 4. Okay, no, never mind. That works. Thought I saw something, but I didn't. Okay, well, maybe we should look at this 33 cage because 33 is actually pretty big when one of the digits has to be small, right? Because the most you could make 4 digits in a Sudoku would be 30 if it was 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is 33. So this is saying if this was a 4, these ones would still have to sum to 29, actually, right? They would. So actually, this could never be 1 or 2, because if this was 2, we'd have to have 4 digits summing to something higher than what they could sum to. Okay, that's interesting. That clears up a little bit here. So we know that this is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And it's either 6, 7, 8, 9 with a 3, or it's 5, 7, 8, 9 with a 4. This can't be that anymore. And so if this can't be, what did I just remove? Sorry. Yeah, if this can't be 1, this can't be 4. Okay. Now, okay, this cell here has a white dot on it. It sees an 8, so at least this can't be a 9. Interesting enough. So this has to be, well, actually, I guess that is interesting, right? Because this can't be a 4 because of this 4. So this digit has to be 5, 6, 7, or 9. And it's in a 13 cage in 4 digits. So could this ever be a 9? If this was a 9, then these would have to sum to 4. And they can't sum to 4 in 3 digits. In fact, the smallest you could make 3 digits is a 6. So the smallest this could be would be 1, 2, 3. And this would have to be as high as 7. That's all it could be. Okay. So in fact, what could the maximum digit be here? Say this was as low as possible. If this was a 5 and we had 1 and 2, we minimize these, we maximize this, that's 8, double 5, so 5. So it has to be smaller than a 5. So it's going to be from 1, 2, 3, and 4. And because if this is a 5 and these are as small as possible, 1 and 2, that's 8. So we need a 5 here. And we can't have a 5 here. So there's other ways this could be a 5, I think. If this was a 5, this was a 2, that's 7. This was a 4, that's 11. This was, oh, it can't be a 5, can it? Or could it be 1 and 4? Maybe. Let's see. 5, 1 is 6, 4 is 10, 3. Yeah, it could be a 5. It could be a 5. What I do know is it's a low digit at least. And now we have all the low digits in this row. So they're going to be yellow, pink, and they're going to be yellow, pink, and green in some order. Okay. Interesting. Yellow, pink, and green in some order. Okay, let's look at this 27 cage in 4. Is there always a 9 in a 27 cage in 4 digits? Can you avoid a 9? And I think you can't, because 7 plus 8 is 15, and 5 and 6 is 11. So that's 26. So there's always a 9 in here, which means this is never a 9. So one of these is a 9 now. Okay. Interesting. What next? Can you avoid an 8? So if you were to have, well, actually, just look at this. Where else do you put an 8 in here? Nowhere. You can't put an 8 anywhere else. None of these digits have the capacity to be an 8. So there is always an 8 in here. And so that gives us 17. So now we need a pair that sums to 10 in here. And it couldn't be 3 or 7 because we'd have to put them both somewhere else, which we can't do. And it can't, oh, well, that's interesting. That does it, doesn't it, right? Because it can't be 1, it can't be 1 and 9 because the 9's already in here. It can't be 2 and 8 because the 2 and 8's already in, or the 8's already in here. It can't be 3 and 7 because they both have to be in this cell because of these 3 and 7s. So this is 4 and 6. And 4 and 6 is 10, 8, and 9. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. That's the break-in, finally. Knowing that these are 4, 6, and 8. 4, 6, 8, and 9 means this could never be a 4 anymore. This is a 2. This is a 1. This is a 2. Now, this is not a 1 or a 2. And we have a 3, 4 pair. So we take the 4 out of here. The 2 being, so this is a 1. This is a 4 because we can see a 2 here. Now, because we've, done that coloring, we know that we can, yeah, this can't be a 1. This can't be a 4. This is a 2, 3 pair that we don't have any useful follow-up on yet. But that's all very interesting. Okay, so now, oh, this is a 3 because, again, we know that the 4 is somewhere over here. So now we should be able to solve this, right? Because this is 6. So we said if this was 6, to make a 13, it would have to be a 7. Now this digit here could never be a 5. It has to be consecutive with the 7. So it can only be 6 or 8. Okay. Right, this can't be 7. So this is only from 5 and 6. Okay. Well, we're going to need a yellow digit somewhere in here. Somewhere in here, there's going to be a 2 or a 3, just one of them. I don't know which. Maybe I'll just slash a yellow in quickly. Well, all I'm thinking about is, we can't use a 4 or a 1. I don't think that's interesting yet. Oh, geez, there's a 3 here now. Yeah, let's look where the puzzle wants us to look. The 3 in here resolves that 1, 2, which resolves. Now we know this is worth 5. We need 5 more, so that's a 5. Knight's move constraint says this can't be a 5 anymore. The 5 gets removed from there. This is now a 5 because we can't put a 5 anywhere else in this puzzle. That's a 5. Knight's move constraint sees this 5. This can't be a 5 anymore. So we have a 6-9 pair up here. Knight's move constraint sees this 5, this 5. Well, actually, there's a 5 in the cage already. Okay, so now if we look at these 2 digits, these can, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have a 4, 6, 8, 9. And, oh, well, look at that. If this was an 8, 9, 8 or a 9, how do you sum to 10 with an 8 or a 9? You need 1 or 2, both of which are in here. This cannot be an 8 or a 9. It can only be 4, 6, which means it can only pair with 4, 6 because those are the only 2 digits that sum to 10 with each other. These can't be 4, 6 anymore. They can only be 8 or 9, which means these can only be 1 or 2. Now, Knight's move constraint already sees this 2, right? This couldn't be a 2 because of the 2 here and the 2 here, actually. So this is a 1, this is a 9, this is an 8. This is now a 6 from the cages. 6 sees this 6-9 pair, 6 and a 9. This 6 sees this 6. So let's see. Yeah, you know what? That's all still fine. Well, this is going to be a naked single now, isn't it? It's going to be a 5. Everything else is spoken for in here. Okay, so we need, what do we need in this row? We need 1, 2, 3, we need 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And by Knight's move, that can't be a 7. So that's an 8, that's a 7. And here we need a 1, we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 2, 3, 9. This can't be a 3 by Knight's move. So these digits are from 2, 3, and 9. But this one can't be a 3 because of this 3. And actually, this one can't be a 2. I think this just has to be a 9. And the way I would say that is, imagine this is a 2. Well, if this digit's a 2, 2's already in this box. So this couldn't be a 2. That would make this a 3. But if this was a 2 and this was a 3, well, by Knight's move, it still sees this cell. This could never be any of those. It's only a 9, which means this can't be a 9. So we're going to get a 9 here. That's going to remove, this couldn't be 9 or 8 anymore. This is only 6 or 7. This is only 6 or 8. Now, does that do the math? Right. Well, what did we say? We said if this is a 4, then there's definitely a 6, right? 6, 7, 9. I think that's what we said it had to be. 6. Oh, because there's a 5. Oh, right. So 5. No, 5, 7, 8, 9 was the math, right? 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Let's just think. 7 and 8 is 15. Oh, okay. Math is escaping me right now. This is 9. 4 and 5 is 9, plus 9 is 18. We need to get 18. We need to get 15 more to sum to 33. So it has to be 8 and 7. It's 8 and a 7. This is a 6 by Sudoku. There's a 4 here. So this is a 4. This is no longer a 9. This is a 2, 3 pair. So this is going to be a green digit. Doesn't really matter. Coloring wasn't really helpful. But we should be able to do something with this 25 cage now, right? Because we have 12 of the digits. So we need 13 in 3. Not terribly interesting just yet. let's think. We're going to need an 8 somewhere down here by Sudoku. We're going to need a 1 somewhere over here, but it can't be there because of knight's move. So this is a 1. We're going to need a 1 somewhere up here by Sudoku. And we're going to need a 1 in one of these two positions, knight's move and normal Sudoku says it can't be there. We'll need a 1 in one of these few positions. It can't be this one because it would have to go to a 2. And there's a 2 here. Okay, what's next? Could this ever be an 8? We'd have 12, 20. We'd have to sum to 5. Let's think. 6 plus 5 plus 1 is 12 plus 8 is 20. This has to sum to 5. Could it sum to 5? It couldn't be 1, 4. Could it be 2, 3? If this was a 2 and this was a 3, that does just work. Okay, so this could still be an 8. That is a possibility. We're going to have a low digit in here that's either a 2 or a 3. If it's a 2, then these two digits, whatever they are, have to sum to 13. And they couldn't sum to 13 with 6 and 7 because there's a 7 here already. So they'd have to sum to 13 with just 5 and 8 because there's already a 4. It couldn't be 4 and 9. And if it is 5 and 8, it could only be 5 if the 5 was here and here alone. 8 could be here, and then this could be the yellow digit. That's fine. So I'm just going to quickly say 8 and yellow. And what did we say yellow would be in this instance? Yellow would be 2. Okay, so what if yellow's 3, then what? If yellow's 3, then we need to sum to 12. And how do we do that? If yellow's 3, we need to sum to 12. And it can't be 9 and 3. It can't be 4 and 8. It can't be 5 and 7, and it can't be 6 and 6. So actually, in fact, yellow is 2, and there's no way that you could sum to 13. Or no way that you could sum to 12. Sorry, it just doesn't work. So this is a 5. This is a 2-8 pair. I'm gonna get rid of the yellow / we don't really need it. So this is 2-8. So this is 3, 3, 2. And then this can't be 2 anymore. This is an 8. This is a 2. We're going to have an 8 somewhere down here. And there's no restriction on where it could be yet. Anywhere is fine. Okay, great. What else do we need down here? We just need 2 more digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6 and 9. And I don't see any restrictions yet by knight's move that says what could or couldn't be there. What about these 3 now? This is going to be a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need digits from 5, 8, and 7. Knight's move says this can't be a 7. Knight's move says this can't be a 5. Okay. What about these 3 digits? 1, 2, 3. We're going to need a 4, 5, 6, and 9. Now, knight's move says this can't be a 4. Knight's move says this can't be a 6. I think that's it for now. Yeah, and then up here, 1, 2, 3. And this one can't be a 1, which we already knew. Oh, and actually this one can't be a 1 either. This is a 1, right? Knight's move sees all of these. So this is a 2, 3 pair, and it does not resolve just yet, but it gives us another. Oh, that's really, really convincing me that this is going to be a 2, 3, and this is going to be an 8. Because earlier we said if this was an 8, it could barely be, if this was a 2, 3, it could be enough. Let's take a look at what 4 digits we need in here and see if there's a different way to even do it. So up here, we're going to need 2, 3, 8, and what's the last digit? We need 7. Okay, actually, look, this can't be a 7 because of this, and it can't be a 2. So this is a 3. None of these can be 3. Sudoku says an 8's over here. There's no further restriction on these just yet. But now I'm going to say, how could this ever be a 7? Knowing that, well, if this is a 7, this is a 2, this is a 3. And I think that's actually Is that fine? No, because we need it to sum, because this is 12. We need it to sum to 13. So it needs to be 8 and 5. So this is 8. This is 2. This is 3. This is 2. This is 7. This is now 7 because it can't be 8. This is now, well, not 100% sure yet, but I know it's not 7. It's a 5-8 pair. Okay, what about this dot now? What can we, oh, this isn't a 1 anymore. 1's somewhere over here. Don't have further restriction on it yet, but what could this dot be? We know that this is a doubler, right? This digit here. It can't be 1, 2, or 4 because all of those are spoken for. It could be 8, which would make this a 4, which I think is fine. Or it could be 3, 6 without restriction. Not interesting yet. Okay, what digits do we need? Where do we need 9s? Well, Sudoku says we need a 9 somewhere up here. And because of knight's move, it's not going to be here. We're going to need a 9. Somewhere either here or here. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let's look at these. Let's look at what these 4 digits could be. Where does, well, okay, look, we need a 2 in this row somewhere, right? Can't be in these 2 because there's a 2 here, and it can't be in this spot because there's a 2 here. That's a naked single. That's a 2. What else do we need? We need 1, 2, 3. We need 4, 5, and 6. This can't be a 5. This is only from 4 and 6, which means there is a 5 over here. This can't be a 4 by knight's move, so this can only be 5, 6. And then this is 4, 5, 6 without restriction. Up here, we're going to need 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, we need a 5 somewhere now in this box. And it can't be there. And it can't be there by knight's move and by this 5. So in fact, this is a 5. And now what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. I believe there's no restriction on any of that yet. But let me just look. Oh, this is not a 4 at least because of this 4. So the 4 is always over here, which means in this box, the 4 is always going to be in the middle. And actually, look, because it can't be here because of this 4. And knight's move says this can't be a 4 either. So in fact, this is a 4. Okay. Trucking along. What about these digits? If there's a 4 in here, it's over here. 4, 6, 7, 9, and 3. We need a 3 somewhere. One of these 2 digits is a 3 because it can't be there or here. No further restriction yet, just that there is a 3 over there. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. So a 6 is going to show its face possibly, and not a 7 because there's already a 7 here. So 3, 4, 6, 5, 9. Those are the combination of digits left. Okay. Interesting enough. What about this? What about this row or this column? We need a 2, 6, and a 7. This is not a, oh, sorry, this is not a 6 because of that 6. Okay, that's it so far. What about here? 1, 6, and 9. And then this couldn't be a 6. Oh, look at that. What's this digit? These 3 digits are 1, 6, and 9. Well, it can't be a 9 because of knight's move, or sorry, because of Sudoku. And it can't be a 6 because of knight's move. So that's a 1, and that's a 1. And now this is only from 6 or 9. Okay. Interesting. What about 8s? We have a whole bunch of eights. Eight's going to have to be somewhere over here, not in the middle. And then 8 would have to be, oh, Jesus. Oops. Recently got a new tattoo, and my dog was just almost licking it, and she mustn't do that on my knee. Okay, sorry, where were we? Before my dog distracted me. We're gonna need an 8 somewhere in this box. Sudoku says it's not there or there. And Knight's Move says, does Knight's Move restrict this at all any further? It doesn't. It doesn't. There's just an 8 in one of the 4 corners. It's not interesting. What about this? 8, 9, 2, 3, 7. So 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And now let's just reduce some things. This is not a 9. This is not a 7. This is not a 3. Okay. Oh, well, we have an 8-9 pair now, actually. That's been available. This is a 6 because it can't be an 8 or a 9. So we have a 2-7 pair, so we have a given digit here, which is, I think it's just, yeah, it's a 3, right? That's the only thing that's left. So we get a 7, a 2, a 7, and a 3. And now that's going to clear up at least some things. This couldn't be a 3 anymore, and this couldn't be a 6. And this can't be a 7. Okay. Okay, sure. It's interesting enough. What are these 2 digits then? 1, 2, 3, they're just 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6, and I believe they are 4, 5, and 6 without restriction. And then down here we need 3 that is not here. This is, oh, no, this could be 3, sorry. We need a 3, 3, 8, 9, 7, 3, 8, 7, that's not here, or 9. So in fact, we have a naked single, and that this can only be a 7. And so 8, 9, 3. Okay. So we're fully pencil marked in now. I'm just seeing now, this 6 sees the 9, sees the 6. So 4 sees the 7, sees the 6. That'll do a whole load of this puzzle. 6, 9 pair that sees a 6, that's going to be a 9. This is not a 9 anymore. It's also not a 6. So this is a 3, 4 pair. So this is a 5, 6 pair. And I don't believe there's any Knight Move constraints yet that do anything really there. Okay. Okay, let's think here. 6, 4, and 9. I don't think there's any restrictions there yet. What am I not seeing? 5, 8 pair. No Knight's Move constraint yet. Let's look down the row. Oh, yeah, let's look down the row. Where do you put 2 in this column? Only there. Ooh, whoops, sorry. Incorrect pencil mark. This is not a 2, 8 pair anymore. Oh, did that resolve then? Is this an 8? I think, yeah, sorry. That's an 8, that's a 9. That's an 8. That's a 2. That's going to be a 3, which is going to give us a 6, which is going to give us a 9, which is going to give us a 4, 5 pair, 4, 5 pair. This 3 sees the 4, sees the 3. Can't be a 4 anymore. So this is the only spot that can be a 4, which is going to give us a 5 and a 4, a 6 and a 5, 5, then 8 and a 9 and a 6. You've solved the puzzle. 209 people solved it in 11.3 hours, 34 minutes. I did like this puzzle. Knight's Cage Connections by Brainteaser Artisan. I really like the Knight's constraint. I think it's really, really fun. That was a great puzzle. I don't think this coloring was necessary at all, but I do like coloring. Anyways, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.